Beauty in Black doesn't just serve drama, it throws you straight into the fire. And I've got the proof right here. After that mid-season finale in season 2, I know we all can't stop thinking about what's coming next. Kimmie is sitting at the top, fighting to hold on to her power while Mallory waits in the shadows, planning her next move. And then there's Charles, leaving bodies behind and dragging the family into even deeper trouble. The Belray Empire is on the edge, and the chaos is just beginning. So, let's dive into what's coming next. Quick note before we do, I keep seeing people calling it season 3, but technically Netflix just split season 2 into 2 parts. So, what's coming next is actually season 2 part 2, just to make things clear. Now, onto the topic. If you remember how part 1 wrapped up, wow, it was wild. We all watched Kimmie slide right into that COO chair and snatch 10% of the family shares. For me, that was the moment I said, okay, she's not just here to play, she's here to slay. But at the same time, it painted a big target on her back. Then she went and exposed Olivia and Norman's shady shell companies on top of it. Like, she really woke up and chose chaos. And that's why in part 2, I think the big clash is finally coming, Kimmie versus Mallory. Kimmie might be sitting in that COO chair, but we know Mallory's not the type to just sit and watch. She's waiting for her moment. And if she pulls Roy or Olivia into her corner, that's going to be trouble, because the Bellarys may fight each other all day, but when it comes to pushing out an outsider, they can move as one. Then there's Charles. Roy outing him with Van Nay was already messy, but then he went full I got this mode and started killing intruders in his own house. I was like, damn, this man really turned his living room into a crime scene. And just when he thought he could cover it up, boom, more masked men roll in, pointing guns at him and Van Nay. I don't know about you, but that ending had me like, whoa. That's not the kind of mess you clean up in a few episodes. In part 2, I could see Charles and Van Nay forced into one of those shaky partnerships where they have to stick together even though they don't trust each other. And whether those masked men were real cops or just a setup, either way, Charles is cooked. Rain's storyline had me stressed too. She barely survived that botched surgery and then walked in on Glenn and Sylvie in a situation that blew up instantly. Glenn ended up seriously hurt. Rain's carrying that weight, and I was just shaking my head. That's the kind of trauma that could flip her arc completely in part 2, she could crash under the pressure or snap and come back tougher than anyone expects. And Glenn, if he makes it, is only going to stir up more drama between Rain, Sylvie, and the whole Belray house. Also, can we just acknowledge how Sylvie's kidnapping twist came out of nowhere? I thought she was done for a while. But nope, now she's a bargaining chip. And if she makes it back in part 2, I bet she's either spilling secrets or flipping sides, because let's be honest, Sylvie only looks out for Sylvie. Then we've got Angel. The man gets shot, fakes his death, and still shows up again. That's why I think in part 2, he's the ultimate wild card. He could be Kimmie's hidden weapon, or he could change sides if he feels betrayed. Either way, Angel is not the type of character you wrap up quickly. He feels like the kind of cliffhanger they'll leave hanging to make us hungry for season 3. The people behind the show are also teasing nonstop. Taylor Polydor Williams, who plays our girl Kimmie, said this arc was one of her favorites because Kimmie finally steps fully into her power. And y'all, the way she described reading the scripts, she said she was like, what? What, every few pages? Same, girl. If even Kimmie herself is shocked, then you know part 2 is about to throw her into situations she's not ready for. Crystal Stewart said Mallory doesn't do nice for very long. Once she realizes Kimmie isn't impressed or intimidated, that mask starts to slip, and that screams knives out, full villain mode, in part 2. Even Tyler Perry himself has been hyping us up. He told the audience to expect the unexpected. And you know when the creator says that, it's not just fluff. That means the twists we've seen so far might be child's play compared to what's coming. And I know we're already bracing for those jaw-dropping cliffhangers. Alright, let's get into the big question, when are we actually getting part 2? Richard Lawson, who plays Norman, already spilled the tea, saying the next 8 episodes are set to drop in February or March 2026. That's our window, so at least we're not left hanging forever. If we know Netflix, the trailer usually lands about a month before the premiere, so we should be seeing new footage early next year. If you're as deep into this show as I am, make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button so you don't miss it when we break down the trailer the second it drops. Meanwhile, make sure to check out the video on the screen to learn more about other Netflix series.